the moment you've all been waiting for. The royal hostess with the mostest. The queen bee with the money, honey.
BeePlus.
That's right. And it's time you all bow to the real queen bee.
Here she comes, the most beautiful bee in the universe.
You're stealing all the bees just because you're jealous?
No, that's just a bonus. My actual plan is to capture all the queens. Their hives will then have no choice but to follow me.
Good evening, everybody, and welcome to my live stream. Yes, so it is today's Saturday, right? I hope everybody had a lovely Saturday. It was quite sunny and beautiful here where I live. And hold on, let me go to the chat. I am so sorry for having to, push back times and stuff. Honestly, guys, it has been a very rough, I'd say about a week for me, and I am beyond emotionally exhausted. And, I feel like almost like the fight's knocked out of me, but not in a way that's like, it's not even YouTube related. It's very much so my personal life. And, so I don't think tonight's going to be a very long live, but I do feel like I owe it to people to come on here. And I just wanted to address a few things and kind of set up for what's to come. Because I am definitely, because I feel like, here in this community, it has been an emotionally taxing couple days, I'd say. I mean, honestly, between this and my personal life, it's just been I'm just like, I'm at a loss for words, which is unusual because I'm usually not at a loss for words. However, I did write down a bunch of things, so this is good because now if I have notes, I will be able, and I didn't really prepare at all for this, guys, so I apologize for that as well. I meant to do a few things on here because there need to be some changes on my channel. I will say that. So yes, okay, good. I took a lot of notes, so at least today you guys will be a little bit entertained. I will say though, I am really glad. I don't know if any of you got to catch Kim and Crafton's live from earlier today. Not even that long ago. They came on here and dropped a whole lot of receipts that really it's something everybody in this community needs to see, because this is something that has been going on in the community for a very long time. Basically, they dropped the people who are behind putting out their business that had no business being on YouTube, and that was their story to share when they were ready to share it. And the fact of the matter is it was given to people that, put it out before they were ready to speak about it. That girl, it was receipts. Well, I don't think I could even do it justice. It was a group chat, and I'm going to use names. I just need to make sure I have some mods in here. I did set it as a subscribers only. I meant to mod a few people, but I've been, like I said, guys, my personal life has been, I can't even. So it's been a rough couple days. Okay. Thank you, Amber. Because things, there have been some lines drawn in the sand lately, and it's sad to say, but I was going to do a whole live on this because I do want to take accountability for a few things, because I do need to. Obviously I had no part in this, but that's a story for later on. But so basically Kim and Crafton were showing it was a group chat that included Lindsay, Jax, and somebody else, and basically it was plotting and conspiring to release this info and dig on Kim, with the intention of quote unquote exposing her, and really looking into her personal life to things that are really, really inappropriate. And they, it turns out that they were the ones responsible for leaking that information. Oh, okay, sometimes good, Ann. And I'm sorry if I didn't say hello to people. I'm just trying to figure out where to start with all this, because even after I wrote my notes, then Kim and Crafton had their live. So now I feel like I have other things. But yeah, so with the receipts, guys, you can, people, if people hear it from somebody, they can doubt it all they want. They can say that, oh no, they don't want to believe that person. People have spoken out before, but it really, guys, like, you can't make this shit up. It's there. It's right there for everybody to see. Kim and Crafton did not doctor that in any way, shape or form. I promise you that. And this is oh god, guys, you guys, the rabbit hole knows no bounds with this. So that's a fact. So basically they proved that there has been some sneaky stuff going on here. And I'm sorry if some people don't want to hear that, but the fact of the matter is there are people in this community who will purposely go into your personal life and dig and dig and dig and write deleted account and try to blame other people. And it's really it's vile. I'm sorry to say that, but it's vile. I had no idea just how bad it was. I will admit, and this is hard for me to admit. I have told these people, I knew about some of this for quite some time now, but I didn't put all the pieces together until very recently. And when I did, I had been grappling with whether to talk about it or not talk about it, and the right thing to do is to talk about it. So if you don't want to believe screenshots, I mean, I'm gonna back it up with everything that I can. Like I said, I did not prepare for this live, so that might not be tonight, but I promise you, I always come with receipts as well. So that's fucked up, guys. Like, I don't care if you like Kim and Crafton or not. I happen to like them. But, regardless of whether you like them or not, or whatever, you think that they've done in the past, like, nobody deserves to have their personal life dug up on like that. Like, borderline, not even borderline stalking. It's not okay. It's honestly, it's concerning. And, I was very disappointed. I always like to see the best in people, and I always like to think that it's not what it seems, and maybe I'm reading into it wrong, and maybe I don't know what I'm talking about, but you really can't argue with what I saw today and then what I've seen myself. So, unfortunately, this is where we're at. And I'm not sure if there's going to be what their response to any of this is going to be. I have no idea. But, honestly, anything that comes out about this, I'm not interested because this is just facts. I can't argue with facts. I'm sorry. Like, I'm not going to actually, I'm not going to apologize. It's concerning. So, because nobody should have that happen to them. Imagine if that happened to somebody that you were supported on here, or somebody that you're friendly with. You guys don't know what's going on in people's personal. And I'm going to say right now, guys, do not be surprised if you see some stuff on me put out at some point. I'm not saying that but I don't know who's behind what's going on with me. I have no idea. I can't prove anything of that either way, but I do know that my parents have received 2 other phone calls at this point. And fortunately, actually, my mom spoke to somebody. Well, didn't speak to them. They hung up. But I think they seem to think that I live with my parents, which seems to be a theme going on here. I do not live with my parents. So they were looking for me. And, nobody that knows me in my personal life or anything else would have called my parents' landline with looking for me. You know what I mean? Like, there's no way, because nobody has that number. Nobody. Or else, like, you're digging. So I'm trying I'm looking at the live, not the live, the names here. I'm trying, if I didn't say hello, I'm so sorry. Well, see, that the thing is, though, is that people are showing proof. And that's the most concerning part, is that, a lot of people will come on here and they'll speak and they don't show receipts. And a lot of people believe them. So, like, let's use Natasha, for example. Natasha can come on here and she can say blatant lies and people believe it because, they trust her for some reason. The people that haven't seen the light and still drink the Kool-Aid over there. And she's a whole other beast that I will get into, because she, that's another thing. There's so many things that I need to talk about, but yeah, I'm not, deleted account. Honestly, I'm not interested in anybody's excuses. Because you can't, it's complicated, and I need to process this myself as well, because honestly, guys, like, I feel like there's miscommunications going on. First and foremostly. Okay. I feel like some people, like, guys, I'm trying to, how do I put this? There is a lot going on, okay, behind the scenes. And I don't think a lot of people know that, but when you associate with certain people and, that sends like a mess, there's going to be more stuff coming out, guys. I am putting some stuff out, this week, because I have to. It's the right thing to do. And let me say hello to everybody. Earthbound Spirit. Hi, Brittany, that girl. Hold on. Well, How about when people see, but Brittany, that's part of a whole other like, can of worms, so to speak. Like the issue that I'm dealing with tonight is basically just speaking about what I know and my experiences with things, because honestly, like people don't know this about me. People don't know my, what's gone on in my own like personal experiences on YouTube so far, because this isn't something that was new information to me. And it's concerning. So really, I'm just here to like just say support with the fact that it's not okay to be like digging into people's lives like that. Anybody's, like, I don't care who you support. This isn't about like, and I believe that about Natasha too. Like, I don't think people should be going and digging into Natasha's life. It does not matter who it is. If you are going to those lengths to call people, people's local, places and trying to find information and then building up these files of information, also you can like have some sort of like ammunition when you like, come back at somebody like that. It's bullshit. And I'm not here for it. Now, I do have an agenda for tonight, and I will not be put off from my agenda. Because there's a couple things I wanted to discuss. I mean, what is it? I mean, obviously we had that situation the other night, which I will talk about as well. And I don't really at this point care if anything that I have to say is at all an unpopular opinion. I don't care at this point. I stand where I stand. I believe what I like. Just trust that I have seen things that other people have not seen. Not yet. I will be putting those things out. And I'm just going to say that I'm going to be very assertive about that. Just trust that I have seen things. And if you don't want to believe me, that's fine, but you will soon. And there's a reason why I stay away from certain people. There's a reason why I am going to be, the first person to support something, because I don't think things are fair. I don't think things are being done that are fair at all. And that's just my opinion on all of this. And, I mean, I have oh my God, guys, I have so much here. Let me get started here. Let's see. Where is the first thing? First and foremostly, though, guys, like I said, everybody, I don't know who was here for, how do I put this? Hold on. I'm trying not to look at the chat because it's going to distract me. And I don't want to be particularly distracted today. Because I think this stuff is serious. Like, I'm not going to come on here in a joking manner and say that I think it's okay. I don't think it's okay. And I don't think, I feel like, people at this point in time need to look at the information. And if you watch that information and still feel that, things are okay and those people should be okay, then that's a problem, in my opinion, for me. It's not I can't stand with that. I just can't do it. And I don't think it, I don't welcome that here, no. I didn't know how bad it was. I didn't know the extent of all of that. I didn't know any of that. And now that I do, because it's even worse in my mind, so I really do encourage people to go and watch that live. Just so you have that information. Now, what you do with that information is up to you. I guess that there's a video being done about, their response to it. So, I mean, if you want to watch that as well, that's fine as well. But I don't see how you can argue with this. And like I said, if you don't want to believe that, I mean, I knew about this as well. So, and I have apologized, and I should have said something sooner. I just didn't know what I was looking at until I put like a bunch of pieces together, if that makes sense. I didn't realize that was what was going on. I honestly didn't care, but this has been months and months and months of this. Yeah, well, for people with ADD, no, I totally agree that, girl. I always struggle to get through people's lives. I'm like, so could someone like timestamp when the good parts are of like the information that I need? But you're right. I agree with you on that. Now, what else did I want to talk about? Let's see. Well, I know that a lot of people noticed that I was, the other day, like with everything that had gone on, and this is going to be an unpopular opinion too. And I really don't care about that at this point, because guys, like going forward with my channel, I want people, I'm going to be transparent. I'm not going to be one of those people that says that I like somebody and not actually like that person. I want to be transparent. I don't want to be fake. I don't want to be any of those things. What I want to do is I want to be up front and say, yes, I'm defending this person. And there's a method to my madness, and how I see things. It doesn't need to make sense to anybody else. It makes sense to me. But the other night, with everything that happened, with Pesky, so that was a really triggering night for me. And because for a lot of reasons, and I did go into that a little bit, because I did go up on Granny's Watching's panel, and I did discuss a little bit about why that would be so triggering to me. Now, I was, all worked up about that because I was very worried. I was like, what is going on? And, regardless of the situations or the circumstances, I would never wish physical harm on anybody. And, with stuff like that going on, that was concerning to me. Now, what I also want to say, though, is that what I felt like I saw happening was I saw a lot of community posts, and I will say I don't care anymore, guys. This is how I feel. I saw a lot of community posts that said, we're here for you, Pesky. I know what it's like to be a victim of Granny's Watching, and just stuff like that. Like, if you're going to make a community post like that, don't make one at all, because honestly, guys, that's not the time for throwing in these jabs on people. It's not appropriate. Any way that you look at it, if there's something serious going on with somebody, you don't need to bring another creator into it. Now, imagine how you would feel if you were the one tagged saying that you are the reason that, somebody is considering, taking actions like that. Regardless of if you care about that person, if you like that person or not, imagine how you would feel to have that weight put on your shoulders, regardless of what they may or may not have done. Regardless of any of those things, that is a heavy accusation to put on another human being. End of story. And, as somebody who is also in recovery, if there's going to be something that pushes me over like an edge of like something that maybe would make me relapse or anything like that, it could be, something like that might do it. It really depends. I mean, I was triggered by all of that as well. So what I didn't like seeing was everybody's using that as an opportunity to jump on her. Like, that is not the time. I'm sorry if you guys don't want to hear that. I'm sorry if you don't want to see Granny's Watching as a person. I'm sorry if you don't want to acknowledge that she has feelings. But unfortunately, guys, the reality is that, we can't always just look at things from the side that we're on. Let's look at the big picture here. Now, I couldn't help Pesky. Pesky is in a completely other country for me. I don't know the first thing about getting in touch with anything on that. I don't speak to her. I've never spoken to her. I don't know people that do speak to her. Thank God Country Joe was able to come on here. And, we're going to get into, the conspiracy theories about that later as well, because I heard a bunch of stuff on Natasha's channel that was just crazy, and Dorothy's. So I just... guys, so thank God Country Joe was able to take action on that, because I think she made the right decision. I don't think you should ever not react to something like that, regardless of anything else. And I'm glad that she was able to, but I couldn't help Pesky. Who I could help was Jess, who was also put in a situation that was not fair, in my opinion. And I'm sorry, like I said, I don't care if you guys like that or not. She was all of a sudden like this person that, she had lives going about her, blaming her for this horrific thing all at once. And, there was a lot of trolls that were coming into her chat and saying it. And as somebody, I can relate to, being in recovery, and, her mental health and her well-being and safety matter too, whether anybody likes it or not. That's just the reality. And, I could help her, and I could go up there, and I did. I spoke exactly what I thought, and that is exactly what I think. And I know that I got emails about it. People didn't like that, but I don't, that why? Oh my God, people are really ridiculous. And I'm not even looking at the chat because I know it's just going to upset me, but I'm speaking my truth, and I really could care less. This isn't like a joking topic. This is really serious stuff, guys. This is serious stuff that nobody should be doing at all. The digging, the stalking, the, not caring about another human being just because it fits your narrative. Like, and I'm not saying don't care about, that, and Granny wasn't making it about herself, by the way. I want to make it very clear that I was actually really proud of the choice that she made, because she went on, she connected, because when I was going through a hard time, I didn't come on here and talk about it, but you guys were so helpful to me. Me just being able to come on here on my panel and connect with people was so helpful in helping me get through that. And for her to come on here and connect with her community and talk about how she's feeling on camera, that's almost like a lifeline, guys. You know, like that's her using like a positive coping skill to come on here and, you know, be with people that support her. I didn't see that as her making anything about herself. And of course, that's a narrative that people were going with and everything like that. And, you know, that bothered me as well. And then you have Natasha, who, of course, makes everything content and made sure that this was a whole spectacle. And then, you know, with clickbaity titles, because I don't actually subscribe to her new channel that shouldn't even be here. So I have no idea some of the stuff that she said. But from the title alone, a clickbaity title, The Truth About Pesky, you know, like what is your involvement in this? You know, like this, of course she has to get involved. Of course she has to make it seem like, you know, and she's asking people from, you know, if you're struggling in her community, be sure you come to Natasha first. She doesn't give a shit about anybody's mental health. She makes fun of people's mental health. So what is going on? And then I'm hearing that this may have all been a whole ploy or whatever. Now, I genuinely believe that, you know, just from the behavior that I have seen on here, not that I am a licensed person to diagnose or anything like that, but, you know, Pesky obviously has some issues that she deals with, and there's nothing wrong with that. I just think that, you know, I hope that she does get the help that she needs. But, you know, guys, I'm telling you, it is not something to, oh, no. And I didn't like the way people handled that. So do better, guys. Seriously. A lot of people used it as an opportunity to throw jabs at Granny's watching that she did not deserve. Okay. She is, you know, taken accountability for whatever part you know what I mean? But that is not something you can put on somebody else. Nobody else is responsible for another person's actions, in my opinion. And it should not be done like that. I did not appreciate it. I did not like it. Well, I'm not, you know, that girl, I'm not so sure about what happened afterwards. No, I'm not so sure about that, because Natasha seems to be using it as a whole thing that's like, you know, for content and entertainment. And, you know, she collected a whole lot of super chats about that. You know, so on her part, no, I do see it as her using somebody else's problems and tragedies and mental health to make herself to be able to, I don't know, have a cause for people to donate money. Apparently she brought in quite a bit of money on that, and I wouldn't be comfortable with that. I don't know if she said, did she say she was donating it to something, or did she say, of course she didn't. I mean, that's a silly question. We know she didn't. We know she didn't say that she was gonna, you know, donate it anywhere. But I mean, I need to go and rewatch that, but I do want to, yeah, PayPal's, that's what I mean, that girl. That's what I mean. Yeah. So, you know, for her, this is a ploy as far as I'm concerned. You know, I'm going to go into that as well. And then I woke up this morning, and when I woke up this morning, I found out that there were people that were saying that, you know, CJ didn't actually call the police. Now, I want to be clear that CJ very much called the police. She made the right decision. Those sorts of things should never be messed around with. You know, if there's ever something that warrants going real life, you know, the chain of events that led up to what happened there was definitely one of them. And I'm very, very glad that she was able to do that and did that for everybody. Because I don't know how to get, you know, I'm not in the UK, so I wouldn't know the first thing about that. And I did see the community kind of get together to get that information to her, so she was able to accurately portray it, which I think is great. So I do want to point out some positives. I think that was great. But then I was like hearing on Dorothy's channel, and Dorothy's ranting and raving as usual. I mean, of course, you know, we should just expect Dorothy to rant and rave, but she doesn't vet any of the information that she puts. She still is talking about me. Every time I go in there, that bitch Ariana is fucking running her mouth about me. Like, do you have a crush on me or something? I mean, I don't know what's going on. Like, you seem to not be able to get my name out of your mouth, and I know you're watching. That one is its own breed of nasty. You know, you and Dorothy are perfect for each other. Seriously, like, just stay there, please. Yeah, do not come here. And I'm just like, you know, she just rants and raves and rants and rants and rants. And she has like all these people going into her chat and saying things. And then she automatically talks about it as fact. Now, what I didn't like, guys, is I like Country Joe. I think Country Joe is a really, really great. I think she's got a lot of talent. I enjoy her content. I think she is creative. And I enjoy her channel, and I enjoy the conversations that she has. Now, you know, I know that, you know, there from her old community, there were, issues with that. There were people that, I don't know the full story because honestly, I don't pay any mind to it because I know I like Country Joe and nothing that they say is going to change my opinion on that at all. They can tell me anything that they would like. I don't care. Like, I don't care about that. That doesn't matter to me. Because first of all, I don't believe it. And second of all, I just don't. But, of course, Dorothy has people that'll just come up on panel and she lets them talk and talk and talk and talk. And, there's not even so much as in my opinion, or, I'm speculating. And she's just, co-signing all of it as if it's absolute fact that everything that is coming out of that person's mouth is just fact. And a lot of the stuff that was being said was quite harmful. And if I was CJ, that would be infuriating to me. Those were some serious allegations. And I hate that about Dorothy. She did it to Broken Justice. She's done it to a lot of people. She's done it to just about all of us at this point. And she's just burning bridges like crazy. Like, what the fuck was the point of dropping Detective Turtlegum's chat? Like, what was in there that was so riveting? That was so controversial that, she's sitting there reading a mod chat out. Like, really? Like, what was the content in that? Now, I don't like, sharing personal correspondences. I want to make that very clear. That is not something that I do often, if at all. But I will do it if I feel that it's necessary and it's like something that I need to do for my own personal conscience. Then we'll see. But it has to be very, very specific circumstances. Now, I don't know who leaked that mod chat. I know that Detective Turtlegum did mention that it was, the only person that had an Android or a Samsung or whatever. So why the fuck would you do that? Like, what was the purpose of it? You give it to Dorothy for what? For her to read it out and nobody fucking cares because there's nothing. I'm not looking at chat, guys, and I'm so sorry. I'm just ranting right now because Dorothy pissed me off today. Oh, it was Teresa. Okay. Well, I'm sorry, Turtlegum, that happened. I really don't know what, the purpose of that was except to expose people's private conversations that didn't have anything to do with YouTube, first of all. And even if it did, don't act like you don't talk to your friends personally like that. If somebody was to leak my phone, it would make, people would probably be outraged, honestly, because I do, all of us talk shit with our friends about people. I talk shit about people, not just on YouTube in general. Like, I can talk shit with the best of them. You know what? Fuck you, Dorothy. I'm going to run my mouth and talk as much shit as I want. How do you like that? I'm not going to stop because I don't care. And she's asking for every time I click on her lives, every time, because sometimes I'll click in just to see what she's saying. Like when Detective Turtlegum, mentioned, I was like, oh, I wonder if, because the title said that at that point, I was like, I wonder if she's still reading these texts. And I click on it. And of course, there's the bee emojis in her chat. And it's like a giant mod chat because nobody gives a shit about what she's talking about. And she's like pulling teeth to try to get some interaction in that chat. Because people are like, this is really boring and redundant and stupid and pointless. And you need to just go to bed and log off because you've been on for like 24 hours straight. Go outside and do something. Yeah, Anne, if somebody saw my personal things with my friends, like, guys, you guys would think I was the absolute worst. Now, I have her seen in a few chats. People are like, oh, I like this new bee. Well, this has always been me. The people who have interacted with me in chats prior to me having a channel, this is how I've always been. I'm quite sassy. I have an attitude. I don't give a fuck. I will talk about whoever, but the reason when I came on here and the reason it was different is because, I have I kind of have two selves. I have my private self and my public self. And usually my public self is, more refined. Like, it's my professional self. So I came on here doing that because that's usually my default, is to come on here and put forth the person that I, put forth professionally, which is what you should do, honestly. But, because I've warmed up on here and nobody else is going to give me the courtesy of worrying about my feelings ever on here. I've learned that the hard way. When Dorothy did what she did to me the first time, and I have, nobody said anything. Everyone was like, okay, and I still saw people over there, didn't see anything. There were a few people. Hold on one second, guys. I do have to mute very quickly. Sorry, guys. I am back. But yeah, so what I've learned on here is that people people will throw you under the bus the first chance that they get. And, for me, that's a difficult concept because I do have a very, I was adopted, so I do have that like rejection factor. But what I've learned though is that it has nothing to do with me. It's just how these things work on here. But at the same time though, like I just trust nobody. Nobody. I don't trust anybody on here. There are a few people though that I've seen long enough that I know that they're consistent. Like I know that they have bad behaviors and that they are capable of doing X, Y, or Z, but they're consistent and predictable. And I like that. So, I roll with, I have a good gauge of what I'm doing most of the time, but there are some people on here that have fooled me. I genuinely liked Dorothy at first, but the stuff that she's done now is just reprehensible. It's disgusting. What she did to you, Broken Justice, was disgusting. What she did to Granny's Watching was disgusting. What she did to me was disgusting, but not as bad as what she's done to others. She can run her mouth about me all she damn wants. I really don't give a fuck. She's not going to say anything that's going to, hurt my feelings or anything like that because her opinion doesn't matter to me. I do not care what a lonely woman who sits in her trailer and yells on the internet 24 hours a day thinks about me. I'm sorry. I just don't. Actually, I'm not sorry. But that's the whole thing is that I came on here and I kind of put that professional self forward, but I've gotten to know people and, I'm going to come on here and I'm going to speak my mind. There's no point in having a filter and not speaking your mind. If you don't speak your mind, then nobody knows what you're talking about and they don't know how you feel. And that's how, there's a lot of fake people too. If I don't like you, you're going to know I don't like you because I'm going to talk about you. And that's the whole thing. And I do appreciate the people that have come on here and they're trying to kind of be peacemakers. I understand that. And I just don't think most people here are going to want peace, because peace isn't profitable, guys. And a lot of people here do this for money, Natasha being one of them. So, it's not profitable. And honestly, guys, that's not what the audience wants. So think about it. Like, I'm not throwing any of you guys under the bus here. Okay. I want to be very clear. I understand. Like I've done my market research here. If people are doing drama, you're more likely to go click on their lives. Am I right? Like, you look at the numbers, like, there are some of you guys that are consistent and will show up regardless of what anybody's doing. But the majority of people, like, you're going to go where they have content you enjoy. That's what it should be. It's entertainment, right? So you're going to go to a drama thing. And there's nothing wrong with that. So I don't know why people like to deny that they're a drama channel or deny that they, enjoy drama. There's nothing wrong with it. What there's something wrong with is taking it to an extreme where it is straight up predatory and, unacceptable, which is where people in this community like to take things. Now, I don't think that, anything anybody says or does is going to change that. I think that these people have very deep-seated habits in doing stuff like that. And I don't think they're going to stop. In fact, I think that everything that has gone on recently is just going to escalate it. And I have prepared myself for that. I know I'm going to get backlash for what I plan to do this week. And stick around because I'm going to get some major backlash, guys. And I'll take all of it that I get because it's the right thing to do, right? Like, if you know something's going on and you don't say anything about it, and you hold on to it because you're not helping anybody. You're not even helping yourself because when it comes out in the long run that you knew this and you didn't say anything, you're going to be the bad guy, right? So do the right thing to begin with. And I didn't do the right thing for a large amount of time, but I'm going to do the right thing now. And I do need to, like I said, with things like screenshots and receipts, I do need to make sure I have that. I have to have that in order. I'm going to pre-upload the pictures and stuff like that. And it's not going to paint me in a very good light either. I'm going to be perfectly honest. Some of these are not going to paint me in the best of lights, because I'm not going to redact myself from it, because I'm part of it. And I am going to be transparent. That's it. End of story. So, if people don't like what they see, then I hope we can work through it. But if not, I understand. The people that are involved, I've already contacted. They know. And I feel like I'm hoping, I think they've forgiven me for any of that. I really hope so. But yeah, the truth is the truth, that girl. Exactly. And the truth will always come out. Always. It might take a very long time, but it always does. And, what I've seen on here, though, is that if it comes out that you had something to do with something that you adamantly denied having anything to do with, or you didn't say anything, it looks bad. It looks bad. And a lot of the stuff I didn't realize I had until I looked at it through like new information coming in, but some of it I don't have an excuse for. My only excuse is that I didn't want to cause any problems. And unfortunately, that comes at the expense of other people. And that's not fair. So I wish there's a lot of things I wish I'd handled differently on here, but it's a learning curve. It's a learning curve. And, regardless of what I choose to do, somebody's going to feel hurt, but I'd rather stay in the light. I don't want to be one of those people that's shady and conspiring. That's what I mean by behind the scenes queens, though. There's some there are a lot of creators that'll come on here. And you can count on them to be honest and upfront. Maybe you don't like what they have to say. Maybe they're blunt. Maybe they're maybe aggressive or even unpleasant with their delivery, but at least you know how they feel about people. There are other people that you will never know what they really think about you or anybody else because they're just very fake. And I don't want to be one of them at all, because that's not the impression I mean, I get if that's like, you don't want drama on your channel, then fine. Keep the peace. That works, but if you're going to be on here and you're going to do drama, people need to, the behind the scenes stuff, guys, it's not cool. Like, if you're going to come on here, first of all, don't get other people to do your dirty work for you because that's weak. If you're going to do something, do it yourself. And if you're going to have something to say it yourself. Don't have somebody else be your henchman. And Dorothy is a unique hybrid. Dorothy is one of those types of people that is very aggressive and unpleasant in her delivery. But she's also behind the scenes. So she's both. So she's kind of an outlier to this study. And hold on. Hi, Sarah and Memphis Mama and Kim and Denise. And I swear to you, I see most of you. I've been kind of ranting and stuff has thrown me off today. I'm not going to lie to you guys. Not going to lie. I was going to come on in my bee costume. I was, because I did hit 1K, but then a bunch of people unsubscribed. So I am no longer at 1K. But that's fine. I'll get there again. I even did my makeup and everything, and I put on my yellow and I had my crown and all of those things. But, then I was kind of discouraged and kind of angry, honestly, because I work very hard, guys. In the past 28 days alone, I have the amount of watch time required to monetize. So that'll just give you a sense of how much watch time I have total. And it's quite a bit. So I feel like at this point I have worked for it. I actually create content and I feel that it's time. I would like to monetize. So, I mean, if you have not subscribed, I know today I'm not putting my best self forward. I'm very cranky. It has been an emotionally taxing couple days for me. I didn't even really want to come on tonight. But I was like, I've postponed too long. So I at least want to come on here and explain to you guys that, yes, I have things coming. I do want to preface it with it'll some of this may not make me look very good. But it is what it is, right? It is what it is. So, because honestly, guys, though, that's the other side of it, though. Because if you're gonna like talk about somebody else, don't think that they're not gonna retaliate and talk about you back. And if you're anything like me, with your personal relationships with other people, like if I get angry, I have a temper. So people who have spoken to me privately outside of here, they know that. So they know that if I see something that triggers me, which many things do, I don't bring it on here all the time, which I probably should because it's entertaining. I lose it. I will come on with a stream of obscenities. I will be talking all shit about that person. And sometimes I'm not even right. And I'll acknowledge that afterwards. But I just need to get it out of my system. And then the next day you'll be like, are you still mad? And I'm like, no, not really. So I get it out of my system and I move on. For the most part, it really depends on how serious it is. But, I do get angry, because there are people that have said some things on here that have triggered me. Yeah, I'm not going to tell you what, because I'm not going to, give you that. But yeah, there are some things that people have said on here. There are people that, have poked those buttons. And don't worry, Dorothy, you're not one of them, sweetheart. Or anybody in your chat, all that weak sauce that you've got, your giant mod chat. That's because that's what that is. And yeah, so they're like, I'm sorry, what was that, Ariana? I'm a clout chaser. That's fine. I'll own it. There's no shame in the hustle, sweetheart. No shame in the hustle. And yeah, I mean, isn't everybody on here clout chaser? Is there something wrong with that? Whatever you are, be a good one. Abraham Lincoln said, I own it. Whatever. I didn't use Dorothy for that. That wasn't my intention. I didn't go on there trying to build my channel because, quite frankly, a lot of people don't like her, and it really didn't do me any good. Sorry, I'm not sorry, actually. She likes to say that she built my channel. When I, started hanging out on her channel, I was at about, I'd say maybe like 350 for subs. She got me to about 500. Then when everything went down, I maybe like 550. I lost. I'm really surprised I didn't lose my community tab, actually, because I went below 500. And now I've gone from about 530 to 997 in about 9 days. So I don't know, Dorothy. I haven't been in your chat in a really long time, so I don't know, my darling. As Country Joe says, I love Country Joe. Country Joe, wrong again, Dorothy, wrong again. That's not a very good impression, but Country Joe's got talent. I like Country Joe. I'm Team Country Joe over here. But yeah, there is right, and there's a YouTube. That's right, Kim. YouTube drama can happen. There's no shame in doing drama. It's a genre for a reason. People love it. There's nothing wrong with that, right? But what there is something wrong with is digging into somebody's personal life, contacting people's children, or, saying things about their children, or any of that stuff. It's not okay, guys. Now, I know that there's receipts of things out there that, some people that I know have them. They have no obligation to show them to anybody else. But I'm just saying, I like to think that I do have some credibility in this community. I've done nothing on here but try to be helpful and nice, and I really do try to be as upfront and honest as possible. Am I always successful? No, but I will own my mistakes. But just trust me when I say that when the people are talking about this particular issue, there is a lot of evidence out there, okay? And if you don't want to believe it from me, there have been other people that have said it as well. I know Mandy has put out receipts in the past about it, like her or not. I like Mandy. I've never had an issue with her. But I know that some people have, and that's fine. That's fair. We don't all have to like the same people, but she has put out receipts on multiple people that have turned out to be very, very true, and nobody listened to her then. Saying, she talked about Dorothy, she's talked about Lindsay, she's talked about Natasha. Kim and Crafton just put out some receipts. There have been a lot of people that have put out receipts, and for whatever reason, because you don't like one creator or another, you don't believe it, or X, Y, or Z. But I just want to let people know, like, if I have any credibility to you, just trust that I have seen things that you have not. And I will be showing some of those things, not all of it, but some of it, because some things people aren't entitled to see. But I will say I am going to get ahead of what I believe is coming for me. I'm going to get ahead of that. I'm going to address it myself. I will put the information out there before anybody else can. I didn't realize, I didn't even, when I was thinking of things people could weaponize about me, this wasn't one of them. Honestly, but people, with this topic, they would just make themselves look terrible to do this, but that's fine. It seems that people have no lows, and I'm sure Dorothy is like, where did you find that? I've been digging on her. I've been digging on BeePlus for weeks now, and I couldn't find anything except the lies I've been spewing. But Dorothy doesn't need to dig. She just makes it up. She's very imaginative. I mean, really, if she put that much effort into doing something else, I don't know, maybe writing fan fiction or something, I don't know, anything at all, it might be more productive, because what she's doing now isn't healthy. Like, what was the point of the mod chat? What was the point of anything that she has done today at all? She's just been running her mouth all day because she's upset about whatever she's upset about. I mean, who even knows? Nobody knows. And she's just a mean person. I'm sorry. Like, and I know that I have a personal vendetta with Dorothy, because Dorothy has been a very, very cruel woman. She had no right to put out what my information like that for no reason. She thinks that everyone's conspiring against her. Also, I don't know who has this video. Somebody must have posted it. There is another creator from her old community called Queen Bee. And she is the original Queen Bee. I am not the original. I am the queen of this hive. I don't really want to be queen, though. So if somebody else wants to take that over for me, that's fine. I have no desire to wear a crown, even though my bee costume comes with one. But she ended up going over onto Queen Bee's channel, chasing Brittany, because Brittany was like, I don't want to do this. You are just the worst, and I have no intention of wanting to stay up here and listen to you and, entertain that at all. So she went and chased Brittany over to Queen Bee's channel. And she came up trying to talk to Brittany, and Queen Bee was like, no, Snorthy, you're not going to come up onto my channel, and you're not going to, take it over and talk to anybody before you talk to me. This is my channel. Queen Bee owned her, guys. If you want to see something that's wonderful, Queen Bee has very assertive. I need to take out a page out of her book. Love her attitude. I had not watched her prior. I kind of was introduced to her very recently. But Dorothy does not want her old community over here, let me tell you. So I don't know what they have on her that she doesn't want coming out, but there's something there, and you can tell in her tone of voice. Juror wasn't kidding. You have never heard that tone of voice with Dorothy ever. I know that Queen Bee has been around a while. I had no idea. I'm not familiar with that community. But she's wonderful, guys. Like, don't fuck with Queen Bee, guys. Like, you don't want to fuck with her. I was like, I need to take a page out of her book. She is something. She's a force to be reckoned with, and it was wonderful to see somebody own Dorothy that way. Because I had not seen that yet. Which, I don't think that means it, but I do think, though, because she's very upset with her. I don't know if that's the same group as the Dusties that she called. I don't know. So she came from the Truther community, I think, but she calls people the Dusties, and she's very upset that the Dusties are here now. And she says that they're clout chasing. She says that they're looking for subscribers because they can't get any on their own, which I don't believe is true because it's Dorothy saying it. But I'm not familiar with the creators over there. I'm just starting to, have some of them show up in my chat and get to know some, and they seem like nice people, Dorothy. I don't really know what the problem is. You also enjoy, going real life. So I'm not really sure why you had issues. If what you're saying is true, which I don't believe it is. But yeah, I would really like to know. I would really like to know what deep, dark secrets and skeletons she has in her closet. Because there's something there, guys. Mark my words, there's something there. Yes, and when I find out what it is, yes. But I'm not going to go digging. I'm not going to go looking into people's personal lives. I'm not going to do that because that's not what I do. Hold on, wait. Yeah, what? Oh. Is that true, guys? So, like I said, I don't subscribe to Natasha's new channel that she shouldn't even have on here. I will, Amber, in just a second. Because if I stop talking, for right this second, I'm gonna lose. My ADD is bad. It's been a rough couple days. My personal life, guys, I have been not in a great place. So, yes. So everything here has just been crazy. But yeah, did she really say that she's trademarking her name? Anybody who uses her as a hashtag, sweetie, that's not how hashtags work. I can hashtag whatever the fuck I want. I'll hashtag your recliner all day long. I do not care. Come at me with your attorneys. Go for it. Just like I'm BeePlus, come at me with your attorneys. Buzzing. Yeah. Guys, and right, I don't condone mass flagging or whatever, blah, 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 but she's not supposed to be here. So she is breaking terms of service. So if you are so inclined, if you would like to flag her new stuff that she's putting out here, I mean, you would have every right to, because, you're seeing something that shouldn't be on YouTube, and that's what it's there for. Not that it'll do anything, because clearly it doesn't do anything, and her people should see that, because you don't think that those channels have been mass reported by now and she hasn't been taken down. So I don't know. I mean, get it through your skulls that's not why she's not here. She's not on here because she's a piece of shit and she's abusive and she doesn't belong on YouTube. She breaks terms of service. End of story. I'm not gonna rehash this again. But they're not gonna see that. Oh, the Dusty. Oh. Well, I don't know. I don't know that community. I don't know them at all. I heard her always ranting about the Dusties, and I'm like, I don't even know what that means. But I have met a couple people from thing, and whatever was going on with that, Dorothy's got some skeletons from other communities that she's been in. I don't think this is new behavior for her. I don't. Yeah. Right. Kim. And I agree. I have no problem saying that. I mean, if you want to say that I'm targeting harassment at you, Natasha, you know, you're not supposed to be here. So I will gladly send people to do that. You know, I'm not, you know, that's up to you guys if you guys want to flag it or not. But oh yeah, she is, you know, Voices, you're right. She isn't, from what I've seen, she has not been on camera, which is interesting. Although I don't know why she'd name herself the Natasha Cooper, like she's important or a celebrity or something. Wait, I'm sorry, Dot put out my info? Wait, no she didn't. No she didn't. No, you mean about my personal life and like my recovery journey, and saying that I'm making up having a substance abuse problem for to get information for Kim? Because clearly I'm working. Kim, you owe me a paycheck. Like, it's been a really long time, and I'm not gonna lie to you. You know, we can't, this isn't gonna work otherwise. I need money for my services here. She's nuts. She thinks everybody's part of this big plan to take her down. Like, nobody cares, Dorothy. Why would any of us want to take you down? Like, I don't really care if you're here or not. It doesn't bother me one way or another. I just think it's funny. And you know, the people in your chat, you know, some of them are nice. I don't hate all of them. I don't like most of them. And the people that were any, you know, had any sort of conscience or brain have already left there. So, you know, she went at AJ the other day, who did nothing wrong to her. You know, she was all bent out of shape because AJ did this thing with, like, you know, showing the percentages of who's watching versus who's participating in chat, like analytic type stuff. She didn't include me in it either. I mean, did the thought cross my mind that I'm like, wait, am I not important enough, AJ? But yeah, okay. But I wasn't mad about it. I was like, whatever. I'm not a big creator. It doesn't matter. But Dorothy was very offended by that. She thought it was all part of a plot because, you know, Queen Bee was on there and some other people. Hive building roughage. Yes, Kim, you absolutely can. I will take that. I will take that. Yeah, so there's just, she got really bent. She thinks it's a whole conspiracy. She thinks Jur, Country Joe, me, Granny, Kim and Crafton. She thinks she's obsessed with Kim. I'll put it out there. She is very obsessed with Kim, as are many people on here, which is I don't understand it. I mean, I wouldn't. Most people would be like, well, you should be flattered. Well, I wouldn't be flattered if it's people that are like that. You know, with no thanks. But she thinks everybody is working for Kim or Granny. She's obsessed with Granny as well. And that they're working for her to, and bringing you know, her old community in to also work for you guys. And it's this whole thing. I mean, I'm curious to know how everything ends, or like, what am I doing next? Because I have no idea. I don't even know half of these people. I've never spoken to them. I don't even know they exist. Well, Crafton, that makes sense. I would hope so. You know, but yeah, she's just nuts. She's delusional. And I like to think that the people that watch her know she's delusional and know that, like, everything that comes out of her mouth is, like, not real. And is just crazy. And hold on, I'm gonna break my train of thought. I will look at my phone. I don't like to look at my phone. I don't like to look at this because it always just upsets me. But oh wow. Okay, well, thank you, everybody. That I feel like that. Yeah. Okay. So yes, guys, I have finally gotten to 1K. I think I'm past it enough that would be enough that even if people hate me after this live, that I would still be over it. But I can't thank you guys enough. I will come on in my bee costume. I'm in my pajamas now, but I do have a bee costume that I will come on, and I will dance, and I will do all sorts of stupid things that you all can screen record and take screenshots of and make all of the stupid clip videos you want. I look forward to it. But yes, thank you so much, guys. I appreciate it. I really, really do. You know, it's not even about numbers for me, but it is validating because I do work hard on those videos, and I know that a lot of people don't know because they've never made videos, but I had no idea either. But like, those videos are really time consuming, and I put a lot of effort into those. I also enjoy coming on here and talking to you guys, but you know, it's validating to know that people like what you're doing, and I appreciate each and every one of you. Thank you so much. Yeah, we should. Yeah, I noticed that she wasn't on camera too. But you know, I don't know what I probably should check out what she's been saying just so I know what I'm talking about. But she's not supposed to be on here. What was it that I heard that did CJ heard something about Hannah's channel and something about, I have no idea what's going on with that, but apparently CJ is getting blamed for striking something, maybe, I don't know. Which, guys, I want to make it very clear, as a creator, you have every right to strike whoever you want to if they're breaking the rules. I just want people to know that, I don't understand why there's such outrage when it happens. Now, I get that people can be petty and they can be, go back and forth. I understand that. But if you're breaking the rules and you're not doing things correctly, then, if somebody strikes you, then I don't know what to tell you. I mean, you can fight it, I guess, but I don't really know the circumstances with that. And thank you guys very, very much. I will be creative with my memberships. I'm not going to be like, what Turtle Gum said about Dot. I'm not going to have just thank you. No, we're going to get very creative with this because I'm a very, very creative person. And, I like to make things worth people's time. Because I appreciate absolutely I would have nothing without you guys. Like, I wouldn't have a channel without you guys. I would just be somebody on here talking. Oh, wow, Memphis. I don't have that many, but I do feel like some people do. Sometimes I wish I did. Sometimes I wish I did have an alt that I would just go under, and maybe I'll make it. Maybe it'll be like my nasty self. I'll be like Wasp minus or something. But I feel like I've turned up the stinger mode on here enough that, I mean, imagine that little old B has a backbone. I sure do, and I stand for everything that I say. Sometimes I stutter over my words, especially if I'm passionate about something. But, I'm not going to apologize for how I feel about things, and I just want to make it clear that, like, I don't want to have fights with anybody. I was disappointed. I was very disappointed to find out some things about certain people because I thought better of them. But unfortunately, I can't ignore what I've seen, and I guess we'll see what happens. But if there's like an apology, but regardless, it is what it is at this point. Thank you, Amber, for stopping by. I really appreciate your coming to help because I did not prepare. I wasn't even going to come on, but I'm glad I did. So I do need to figure stuff because I feel like there's some complicated stuff going on for me personally and for people that it's a long story and I'm going to work through it, but because I'm not like a hateful person, but I definitely have a lot of opinions and I definitely have no problem sharing them, as does everybody else on here. And I want to do some fun stuff. We're going to do some fun stuff. And I'm also, I need to catch up on the Natasha stuff, because she has been, apparently, I thought she had been taken down by now, but apparently she's still up there running her mouth and, making things about herself and sad fishing and raising money. When somebody else is the one that's having, like, based on somebody's really, really awful mental health issues, like, that doesn't feel right to me. You're going to come on here and make it seem like you care about somebody else to raise money. I would really like to think that a lot of that money, Natasha, gets donated to, the mental health awareness organizations. If you're going to raise money using somebody's content like that as content, which I think is wrong, honestly, I really do. I don't think that there's anything upstanding about doing that at all. And I'm not happy about that. But like I said, guys, I also don't like the fact that a lot of people used it as an opportunity to throw jabs at grannies watching in their community posts. I don't think that it's not the time. If you want to say prayers for Pesky, that's great. Show your support for somebody who's having a hard time. That's fine. Like, I respect that. I put out a little bit of a post, but what you're not going to do is don't use that as a chance to throw jabs at somebody else. That's stupid. That takes all the feeling and point out of it, because you're just using it as an excuse to get at Granny. You don't actually care about what the situation is, in my opinion. Maybe I got it wrong. Maybe I did. But that's how I saw it, and that's how it felt to me. And I just wanted people to realize that whether you like somebody or not, putting something like that on another human being is hard. And it's not okay. And, of course that's going to weigh heavy because, like, believe it or not, guys, you could hear it in her voice. Jess cared about Pesky and, cared about that situation. I know a lot of people like to say otherwise or say that I'm, kissing her ass or whatever, but I mean, I'm just calling it how I see it. And that's how I saw it. And, that it is what it is. I mean, because they knew each other. That was a mod of hers. But, to put that on somebody and then have everybody else come at you and accuse you of it, it didn't feel right to me. And I don't want to dwell on that, but that's just how I thought. Wait, what did Dorothy say? Getting Dorothy say that I left because of something that wasn't important. Wait, hold on. She was saying that I didn't do anything to Dorothy at all. I am now. Yeah, I am now. I'm coming at Dorothy now. But I had done nothing to Dorothy. Nothing. I hadn't even spoken like ill of her privately to anybody either. I did say that I was concerned by her behaviors that weekend privately to people. I sure did. I sure did, but it was more in a concerned way than like an angry way. And then I went on to listen to her live, and somebody, well, actually, I wasn't even, and somebody said, you need to go to Dorothy's channel. And I was like, why? Because I was really tired of listening to her rant and rave about stuff that was just inappropriate and not correct. And I went on, and there she was telling people that I made up having a substance abuse problem and I don't take the medications that I do. And she knows this for an absolute fact. And somehow I'm, making it up to get information about her for Kim for some reason. And that's how that happened, which I did not do at all, not even once. So that, yeah. I don't know Foxy and the Boxy, and quite honestly, it is what it is, right? So I choose not to dwell on such things. I dwell on other things with that topic, but I don't know. I don't know. And I don't really think she makes that much money on here, to be honest with you. I don't see her getting super chatted a whole lot. Or maybe she gets like PayPals or Cash Apps, but she's been having Natasha's stuff being dropped lately. So I bet any money is going to Natasha for some reason. Yeah, I don't know why Natasha's being able to stay up. I really don't know. Yeah, Sagacious, you have gotten some tracking from Dot. Yep. You're part of this too, right? Like you're part of the plan, the big conspiracy to take Dorothy down because she's important or something like that. I don't know. Yep, you, AJ, Jur, Lori, CJ, me, Granny, Kim. I mean, the list goes on. Queen Bee. I mean, the list goes on and on and on and on and on and on and on. And I just don't know what any other bridges left. Like, there's no lumber left on the planet left to build any more bridges for her. And I warn people, like, seriously, if you think that she won't do this to you, you are sadly mistaken. You might think to yourself, well, I would never betray Dorothy, so I can, get in with her and it'll be fine. You don't have to betray Dorothy, like, at all. Like, all you have to do is just exist, and in her mind, she'll just create some betrayal. I don't know if she actually believes it or if this is for content, like fake wrestling or something. I'm not really sure how this is for her. I really couldn't tell you. You'd have to ask her. But it's out of control, and she's escalating again. So I foresee another very manic weekend going, and not, discrediting. I really, I'm not going to censor myself with that. It's not okay. And people shouldn't be supporting that. If she's going to rant and rant and rant, you being in the chat and supporting it's not helpful. It's not that she has people really in there. I mean, she has people watching. She was making fun of, somebody said something about Country Joe today and said that Country Joe didn't have like anybody watching or chatting, and Country Joe had like twice her numbers. So I was like, who is feeding you this information? Because clearly you're not looking at it. You have like 130 people, and Country Joe is almost 300, and people are chatting. Whereas with you, all I see is wrenches having a conversation with each other. So not really sure where you're seeing that, but yeah. And at first I wasn't going to say anything. At first I was just going to be quiet about it. At first I wasn't even going to address it with her. But then I was like, you know what, Dorothy, I'm going to talk about it as much as I want because I don't care. Your opinion of me doesn't matter. I do not care. And I'm going to speak about whatever I want, about whoever I want, whenever I want, however I want to do it. End of story. Like, moving on. Next. Yeah, they've done, and Broken Justice, what she did to you was unacceptable. She made it to a place where, people were being told to block you, to not allow you in their chats. And that must have been really, really difficult for you. Now, I never blocked you, obviously, because I don't really listen to what anybody tells me about that. And I'm also like, I'm just not going to go out and block anybody. I don't want to. You'd have to do a lot to be blocked by me. But people were told that, and you were able to finally tell your side of the story. But obviously, Dorothy she's a liar. But that must have been really difficult for you, because that must have really sucked to feel like you can't go anywhere because of her nonsense. And that was a really long time for you to have to endure that with her stories and lies and, and she did. That was one of the first things that she would say to anybody was about you. And not to let you into this, your channel, and don't let her near here and all of that. And then she was convinced that, you were brought up on Jess's panel with, as Viv, with that whole setup, which, to the person that validated that in her head, because there was somebody, that is how that went down. She played that panel, or somebody approached her with it, and then she was validated. There were people behind the scenes that told her, yes, that is Vivian. To whoever did that, shame on you. Shame on you. Seriously, because that's not what happened. And people knew that, but they knew that they could get Dorothy to go on and on and on about it. So there you go. And that's how it happened. But shame on you, because that's not okay. I don't know who My Melody is. I'm not sure, but I'm sure she was a very lovely person. I hope she's still here under a different name. But it wasn't Vivian. I'm sorry, it wasn't. I have this on very good authority, actually. So wasn't Vivian. And she was pretty much terrorized after that, and that wasn't fair to her. So I do hope she's still here under a different name, although I wouldn't blame her if she never wanted to come back to this community again. And then they were using it all as a ploy to bring Broken Justice up, and all of this stuff is this whole plot against her, when really Jess was just trying to have a fun live. I think it was like when she reached a certain milestone or something. I don't remember. I don't think I watched that one, but it was stupid. And people believe it, a hook, line, and sinker, and that's just the truth. And I'm just saying, if you're a creator on here, do not let her get in your ear, because it's lies. How many more creators do you need to hear come forward to say that it's lies before you believe it? Same thing for Natasha. How many more people do you need to come forward and say that, yes, this is all of this is being fed to you and it's completely wrong? I don't get that. Yeah, no, I did see that, Sarah. I did see that Vivian is Team Natasha. Now I've seen that she's posted some very nasty videos about Granny's watching, which I was kind of surprised by, because as far as I know, Granny hasn't, really spoke on her a whole lot at all. So I'm not really sure where this animosity is suddenly coming from. But I guess I'm not privy to such information. But yeah, yeah, I saw a poll that she posted that was like suggesting that, Granny's watching is using drugs or something like that. And I was like, okay, well, I'm not even, I don't get it. I don't get it. Like, what happened there? I don't know what happened there. All I know is that I saw that come up in my thing one day, and I was like, okay, well, clearly something happened. But I haven't heard Jess talk about it. Yeah, for every one truth about Dot, there's 5. Right. Yeah. And Dorothy knows she's a liar. And she doesn't care. For her, this is fun. For her, this is a game. She has no issue lying about. What she doesn't understand, though, is that, the things that she's lying about is hurtful. And if you think that you ruined my reputation by anything on here, you'd be sadly, you'd be disappointed to find out that, most people were really understanding. And there's a lot of people that, have dealt with substance abuse problems in this community. And, we're very understanding and very supportive, unlike you, who's apparently a recovery coach. God help whoever you're, coaching. I know that you said that because I am not you are not my recovery coach, it was okay for you to do that to me. I know that was your response. But somebody who actually cared about the well-being and sobriety of other people would not be using that as a weapon at all, period. Because I would never do that. But I just want people to know that, though, like, there are people in this community that are in recovery. And as somebody who also is, I'm able to see things through a lens that other people may not be able to see things through. And I just also want to say that. So if people just trust me when I say, like, it's a difficult battle. And I would never blame anybody else for, like, me, falling off the wagon or anything like that. Cause it's nobody on YouTube's fault or anything like that. If that was to happen, you just get back up on your feet and you start again. But I mean, I'm my life right now, it's complicated. My personal life is, difficult at the moment. So, coming on here has been a escape for me, and supportive. So, aside from the bullshit that's gone on with, the phone calls and, all of that shit, because whatever, if you want to call, really all you're doing is upsetting 2 elderly people that have nothing to do with anything. and they don't want you to call. They want you to stop calling. I don't live with them. I don't. So you're never going to get a hold of me and call, so I honestly just move on from that. But, that's not what's bothering me in my life. It's not YouTube. YouTube is the least of my worries. So I enjoy coming on here and talking to you guys because really it's been very helpful for me and keeping me grounded and sane, especially over the past week or so. And I appreciate you guys very, very much for that. But that's what I use this for. I'm not on here because I'm, miserable or have nothing else going on in my life. I do have a lot. I mean, I can be miserable. Yeah, sure. But I definitely have other things going on in my life. And I definitely do, I'm not online all day long. That's not what I do. But it's been nice for me to be able to come on here and connect. And yes, she said that, yes, because she was able to identify the dog barking. That's right. I forgot about that. And that's how she knew it was Vivian, because she knew that dogs bark. And she kept playing it like super slow and all that. And like none of the times that she put that on did it prove her point. It almost reminded me of when she was playing clips of Granny's watching from Granny being on other panels talking about the Watts case. She was like, oh, this makes her, she's a Chris Watts supporter. And like none of the clips that she played were inappropriate. I didn't hear her bashing Shanann in any of those clips that I heard. I stopped listening a lot of those times. So perhaps they were in a clip that I did not hear, but from what I heard, it was very reasonable discussion about the case. It didn't sound like bashing to me. So I don't really know what that was. And like, I know that like there were other people that were texting me and they were like, this isn't like proving anything. Like, and I'm like, I don't know what to tell you. She seems to think that it proves something. You're friends with her. Why don't you tell her to stop? Because she doesn't listen to me. She doesn't care what I have to say. But really, like, honestly, Dorothy, I don't think you realize that, but there were a lot of people that were like, this is really dumb and you should just quit while you're ahead. But she didn't want to. So she kept playing the same clips over and over and over again, thinking that it was proving a point that, Granny's watching is a Shanann basher or anything. And I didn't see that at all. But I mean, that's my opinion. Oh, really, Nightmare? Yeah, it was all lies. It was. And I was like, where's your verification for any of this? I was waiting for it. I was like, okay, like she said she had a bunch of information. I was like, all right, I'll entertain it. Like, sure. And there was nothing there. And I was like, okay, well then, that just shows me everything I need to know. And that's when I started to kind of like, back away and be like, I don't want to deal with that. That is not for me. But, right. Well, Kim, thank you for saying that, because I remember him from Critical K. And I was like, so you're friends with him, yet you're calling Jess a Shanann basher. Right. Okay. That makes sense. Oh yes, they said she was reading out my things I was saying in Granny's chat. Because she was reading out what people were saying, and that sucks. I hate that subs can't even go places and chat because people are going to go and read them. So she was like doing a dramatic reading of, I think it was Granny's chat. And, I happened to click on, of course, when she was reading mine. And she was like, apparently, because Kelly the Advocate was in there. And she's like, BeePlus does not like you, Kelly. And I'm like, damn straight I don't. You think that bothers me? No, I don't care for Kelly the Advocate. I don't. And honestly, Dorothy, a lot of the shit that you said about her and that the points you used to make are actually kind of true. So, give yourself some credit there. I don't really know what's up with that alliance, but I guess it's not for me to know. And I apologize for not looking at the chat today. I was a little distracted. And I didn't even want to come on here. And my laptop is going to die, and I don't know where the charger is. I lost Overwatch one night because of right. And I'm so sorry, Broken Justice, because you did not deserve that, and that has impacted your YouTube experience on here, and it wasn't fair. And she would try to get in as many people's ears as she could to tell them to not entertain you or not allow you places. And of course, I don't listen to that because I don't do that kind of stuff. You're not going to tell me who I can and can't watch or block. I mean, she told me not to trust Country Joe too. I mean, who knows why that was? I have no idea. Hold on. And I was just like, okay, hold on, guys. Okay, my charger. No, don't knock anything over. No. Okay. All right. I have a weird setup here, guys, because I was going to come on camera. So I kind of moved my laptop over to a more scenic part of my home. Here we go. Yeah. Hold on. Turtle abuse. Yeah, she is. I actually was rewriting, because you know how Country Joe rewrites songs and puts people's names in them? I was kind of doing that. I found myself doing that today, and I was like, you know what? I'm going to send Country Joe what I have for this song about Dorothy, and we're going to collab, because I think I have a good one. I think I'm onto something here. Right, she doesn't do anything behind the scenes, right? Exactly. Yeah, no, that's what she told me that. She's like, I know what she said to me, and I'll say it out loud because I don't give a fuck. She said that she knows things about Country Joe from her old community that I don't know about, and that people don't know about, and that she she wouldn't trust her. And this is when like she was still having Country Joe up on her panel. So I mean, I don't know why. I don't like fake people. I don't like fake people. I just don't. If you don't like somebody, say it. Don't. No. But she does a lot of things. You're right. You're right, Captain Lee. Whatever she does, do the opposite. And that's the other thing. I know that I think you're from you come from the Ramblers, correct? I think I could be wrong, so don't quote me on that. But what she did to Carolyn was really. I always forget that Carolyn is another one that Dorothy has burned. I had completely forgotten about that. But yeah, she completely. I forget what that was about. But regardless of what it was about. But yeah, so I mean, that's how I knew of Dorothy. Well, I remembered that I knew of Dorothy originally from another community that I had stumbled upon and had listened to around July 4th, I believe. Because I do remember, I was like, who is this woman? And I was listening to a panel and she was up there and everybody was like, Dorothy, please stop, Dorothy. And she was just yelling and yelling and yelling. And I remember, and I didn't recognize the voice. And I don't know how. Until very recently, I was like, oh my God, that was her. Dorothy Marie is her. Oh God. Should have gone with my gut. But yeah, I remember because I knew her from Mommy Rambling's panel. And I thought they were friends. Honestly, she would always speak very, highly of Carolyn. And then all of a sudden, out of the blue, she's not gonna, that was a problem. Dorothy, she was holding her back. She was trying to control Dorothy. All of these things, which I don't believe Carolyn was doing. That doesn't strike me as something that Carolyn would do. I don't believe that. I don't see that. I'm sorry, I don't see it that way. But yeah, right. I can imagine. That would be hurtful to her because. Yeah, right. You don't even have to do anything to Dorothy, but that's exactly what happened. I thought they were friends, and then all of a sudden, all of that went down, and I felt bad. Wait, she went on to NC's, not so much as a word to, oh, okay. Yep. Gotcha. Yeah. And Dorothy, you're like the biggest clout chaser out there. So I don't really, like I said, there's no shame in my hustle. But I don't use people like that. Like, I'm not going to use people. I'm going to get exposure. I might bounce around places, but I'm not panel hopping. I don't do that. Actually, I think I've only been on two panels since, actually, no, I've been on I was on Natasha's panel a few times on camera, by the way. Nobody knows that. But you won't see it because, she's not here anymore with those. I went up on her panel a few times for the potato case. 2 or 3 times. On camera, all of them. I don't know why. I shouldn't have. I look terrible. But yeah, so I don't know. I'm not doing it for that. Like, I will broaden my audience. I mean, that's business, right? Like, you don't just box yourself into a corner and stay there. I mean, she's the one community hopping, trying to, she realized that, she's not going to get any more subs from over on the anti side because, she was that awful to grannies watching and nobody wanted to fuck with her. So she went over to Natasha's and she's gained a lot from that. Now she also wants to knock anybody down that's going to kind of take from her inheritance of Natasha sub, but Natasha's not going anywhere without a fight, Dorothy. So, I think you're not going to get what you think you're going to get out of this, in my opinion. Of course she is. Well, Voices, I believe that she is afraid she's going to get stuck with it. So I believe that she probably has a obscene amount of things and now that she's like, maybe the reality is setting in that, things might not always work out for her. I do think that she's going to be trying to sell things at a very high rate. And I think she's going to take every opportunity she can. Now, did I hear correctly that that Tia is the latest fallout from them? I can't say I'm surprised. I was surprised that they teamed up at all, honestly. Because I never had a problem with Tia. But I was like, hearing her co-sign things for Natasha, I was like, really? But I heard, oh, good night, Sarah. Have a good night. I have heard that she is the latest to break free from Natasha. And I love how Dorothy was like, well, if I don't want Natasha on my panel, I just tell her so. And I'm like, yeah, good luck with that, because you were the one who were so pathetically throwing yourself at her. Oh, you could have my channel. I am your most loyal Death Eater, Lord Natasha Volt. Sorry. Okay, I'm gonna stop now. Yeah, they parted ways. Well, good. Good. I actually think I remember the first time Tia even came to this community. I think I was on that live. I think it was on Voices Behind the Wall. I could be wrong. Because I used to watch things over the side. I didn't really participate in chat, but I was watching, and that's how I was introduced to her. And I went to sub to her channel after that. And if I sub to a channel, I really very rarely unsubscribe to things because I just don't remember to, nor do I care to. I mean, things change so much over here, like, or else I really don't like you and I can't support what you're doing in any way, shape, or form, like Natasha. I'm not going to go unsubscribe. I don't subscribe to Natasha's new shit because she's not supposed to be here. So I'm not going to subscribe to somebody that's not supposed to be here. That's just how it is. Yeah, it is a logical explanation. Yeah, she's trying to get rid of stuff as fast as she possibly can. Like, I don't even want, because she thought that she was going to be on here on YouTube and have the ability to be selling things like this, and it's been quite lucrative. So I'm sure she's stocked up. I'm sure she has quite a bit of stuff. So she's going to take every opportunity and every panel she can actually get on to sell stuff. Yeah, I absolutely think that's what she's doing. Yeah, because she doesn't want to get stuck with that. So I honestly, though, even some of the stuff that actually, I'm not going to say that because I don't want to encourage anybody to buy from her. So yeah, I'm not even going to say that it's reasonable. I mean, anything she does is a scam as far as I'm concerned. So yeah, no, I get your broken justice. I'm similar. It's something I've struggled with since I was, 14. So I usually can see things pretty easily as well. And I have an interesting outlook on stuff like that. It's not like your traditional, like a lot of people don't, I don't know. I feel like there's new ways of looking at things. Like for example, like I'm not sober. I mean, I'm clean. I don't touch things that were my problem. Right. So, but that doesn't mean that I don't do other things, whatever. So I mean, I don't do anything crazy. I promise you that. So nothing that's not legal anyway. According to Dorothy, yeah. Well, the person who called my parents' house said that Dorothy was elderly, so that's interesting. Yeah, they were like, I'm harassing a sick elderly woman. Their words, not mine. And I do know who made that call, but the person who made the other two is not the same person. None of them were the same person. They were 3 different people, and it needs to stop. So actually, I shouldn't even say anything. I shouldn't say anything because there's no react. No, shut up, Emma. Nope. Okay. We're going to move on from that. Not giving anybody what they want. But yes, I appreciate each and every one of you because you guys really have been a great support to me over the last, I don't even know how long, a really long time now. And I do appreciate how everybody, because this community has good people in it. It's just, there's a lot of bad stuff going on. And honestly, like, I know that there's going to be backlash or whatever for the stuff that, is getting revealed because, people don't like to have their stuff put on blast. Which, I get it. I wouldn't want that either, but you shouldn't be doing that stuff to begin with. And I foresee that things are going to get interesting on here. I hope that I'm wrong. I hope that things, people can work stuff out and maybe own up to what they've done and say, hey, yeah, I did that. I'm taking accountability for it. And, I don't expect you to forgive me, but maybe we can move on and not have this be a whole thing. Unfortunately, I don't foresee it happening that way. I do foresee it being, Thank you, Brianna. I hope that I have this nasty habit of when I, make a milestone like that, the next day it's gone. So I don't celebrate too soon. I can't tell you how many times I got to 500 subs and had it taken away almost immediately afterwards. So like until I am like a significant amount over 1,000, I'm not going to celebrate. So you guys will not get my bee costume until then. But you will get the bee costume after. I promise. And I'll play guitar for you in my bee costume and maybe even attempt to sing. All right. So there's your incentive. I'll make a complete idiot of myself for your viewing pleasure. Yes. Oh, I'm excited. I've been on here. Like I've had this channel since 2011, but I really started putting effort into it, like to build a channel on Christmas Eve, actually, was when I posted my first video. And I've had the watch time to monetize for like in the past 28 days alone. I have enough time, watch time to monetize. So that should tell you how much watch time I have total. I have quite a bit. And yeah, so here's the thing. I was thinking to myself, because back when I was growing pretty steadily, I saw that Social Blade predicted me to hit 1,000 in April. And then when I started just losing subs nonstop and wasn't growing at all, it was like that date was going out and out and out and out to the point where I think it was at like, next year. So I was like, no, we're not going to do this. You know what? There's no point in being polite and nice on here. We're going to turn it up. We're going to separate my channels. I'm going to have a serious channel and I'm going to have this one. And we're going to separate the two things because it's not working what I'm doing. So this is what we're doing. And yeah, Kim. So as soon as I get to like, I'd say 1,100, I'll be satisfied enough to celebrate. But because what I saw today is I was about where I am now, and it all went like I literally had 20 people unsubscribe within a good 10 minutes. So there's that as well, which I don't, call me a conspiracy theorist, but when it was the 5, I don't suspect that's a coincidence. I would like to think people don't do that because, why don't we clap for people when they win? I mean, I'm happy for people when they reach milestones. But whatever. The YouTube does adjust and gets rid of like bots and stuff, or I don't know. I mean, I don't know why any bots would be subscribed to me anyways, or inactive accounts, maybe. I'm not really sure. Yes, I will be wearing the costume. What was what because of Dorothy? Yeah, but my dad is awesome. I really was excited to bring him on here. And the problem is that now that, those boundaries have been crossed, and he was going to help me find experts in various fields that I wanted to do interviews with, which, with his connections would have been a really excellent opportunity. But now because people want to ruin things for things, I'm not really sure he'd be comfortable having any of his friends come up on my YouTube at this point, which is just unfortunate. But we'll see, right? So I'm going to do my serious channel as long as there's no fuckery going on my serious channel, which I need to get a working link for. Then I'll try. We're going to try again with that because I know a lot of people enjoyed it. I enjoy doing that. That's nice for me. But it's also nice to be able to come on here, just be myself and talk shit, because I can do that with the best of them. Well, Kim, I'm actually almost certain that's what it is. I believe that it is probably somebody who's disgruntled, who has a lot of alts and enjoys doing that to people. I really believe that because let me tell you, especially with the 500 one, I know it in my bones that was somebody fucking with me, which is why I hid my sub count, because as soon as I hid my sub count, that stopped. Yes. Somebody gave me that tip and I was like, okay, all right, I'll do that. And I did. And lo and behold, I got to over 500 and it stuck. So, yeah, it is what it is. It is what it is, but I'll get there when I get there. I mean, I'm going to keep putting out videos too, and my videos get a lot of views. And I love that more so than my lives. This live didn't start off very well. I was distracted. And if it had it, there's some stuff going on with me behind the scenes on here and otherwise I need to work through. And I need to figure out, and it's complicated. It's always complicated, right, guys? But we'll see where things go. I mean, I'm hoping that things go in the way of truth and, things coming to light and things getting worked out so we can move on and go back to like our Watts Island drama, you know, like I almost missed that where, you know, it was just petty bullshit, because that's what drama should be. It should be petty bullshit. It should, you know, it should never be what it is right now. And you know, I don't know what it's going to, what I really want is, you know, I think there's some people that there are people that owe Kim and Crafton an apology right now. Not that they, you know, they're going to accept that. If somebody did something that violating to me, I'm not really sure I would accept it, but you know, at least then we could move on from things. But Foxy and the Boxy, Dot probably does have like 1,000 alts or 100 alts. She probably does. Yeah, that wouldn't surprise me. She seems like the type of person that has the time to do that. I have noticed though that I do believe that, you know, some of her alts are easily identified. I know that there's like a couple ones that people have been like, that's 100% her. There is one that I forget what their name is. I have a screenshot of it somewhere that I'm almost certain is her. But I could be wrong. Yeah, no, Foxy and the Boxy, no, I'm reading the rest of that too. Honestly, it could very well be that. But I am going to have fun with memberships. I mean, I don't expect anybody to want to be a member, but some people will. And, you know, I'm going to do some fun stuff. Like maybe if it's like, you know, something with my dad or, you know, stuff like that. Maybe he'd be willing to do that for a more exclusive group or whatever. Right. You know, I also say get me to 1,000 and I'll tell you what my dad thinks of Natasha. So I'll do that too when I dress up in my bee costume. You guys want to know what he thinks about her because he has thoughts. Don't worry. Nothing that would surprise you guys. You know, but what he always said to me is people like that, it always catches up to them. It always catches up. It's just a matter of time. And, you know, I like to think that that's what's happening. But, you know, she's going to play the game a little too big. She's gotten cocky. She's gotten very accustomed to a lifestyle and a way of conning people that isn't sustainable. And I think she's seeing that. Hold on, wait. Yeah, well, I actually, you know what? I'll probably ask you, Kim, because you might know. I'll ask you if you know if this person is the same person, because I haven't been able to find anybody that can tell me definitively, because it's a name. The voice sounds exactly the same though. Like, but I like I said, I don't want to accuse her of doing something if it's not her. She used to go, you know, maybe people would recognize the name she used to go by. I don't know. She used to be on camera all the time too. She was on Natasha. You know what? I'll sneak in an Easter egg somewhere. All right. So one of my next videos, it will have panels and she'll be up on one of those panels and you can figure out which one it is. Okay. Let's see if anybody guesses correctly. And that's using the name that I know that it is. So this isn't like the new one. This is from like December. And she also has a lot to say. How I figured it out though is that she said the same words about Granny's watching, and I put the two together, and it was like identical. So I'm like, yeah, this is her. Mm-hmm. Yep. She said quite a bit about Granny's watching as well, and I don't think this person will even be upset about being called out. I'm sure she'll own it and be like, yep, that was me. But I don't know what the other two were. My mom answered the phone. I think it was yesterday. My mom answered the phone, and they asked for me. I said Emma, so they knew my name. And she didn't say she's not here right now. She just said, who is this? Or may I ask who's, I'm sure she said it more politely, like something like, may I ask who's calling, please? And they hung up. So I need to ask her, I need to go look at their voicemail. I need to go do that tomorrow. The other voicemail was sent to me. I have not played it, Sagacious, because I do know who made the first one, but now that there's two others, and it was what was in the second one that was disturbing to me. What was in the second one is kind of what sparked me to decide that I need to get out in front of a few things. But like I said, if they want to reveal something like that, then they're going to look really bad doing it, because to come at somebody for something like this, but people have no lows. So, I mean, you'd think that people wouldn't do that about a domestic violence situation either, but you know, here we are. So, unfortunately, I don't think that this topic wouldn't be fair game. But I don't know who's behind this one. Honestly, I really don't. I just don't. Because I don't know who I would have upset at this point about that. But, you know, we'll see. And I didn't realize that, like, something I truly don't understand how somebody would know about this, because I think I've told maybe a handful of people, none of them of which I think would do this. But, you know, I've been surprised before, right? And it's not something that I realized was accessible, because I don't think all court proceedings are accessible. Like, if it's not criminal, I don't know. I could be wrong. And I haven't done anything horrible, guys. I want to make that very clear. Like, I think a lot of people will actually sympathize, and realize that to come at somebody for something like this is kind of gross. But, you know, it is what it is. I'm not a perfect person. I've had a lot of struggles in my life. I've made bad choices. I had a really rough as a teenager, right? So obviously there are things that came with that, but it is what it is, right? So I'm not ashamed of anything. I mean, I am ashamed of things. I'm not going to be, though. I'm trying not to be. I'm working on it. But we'll see what happens. We'll see what happens. I'm hoping it was just like somebody just flexing, or maybe somebody betrayed me and did say that to somebody. Maybe they didn't realize that it was something that could be weaponized, because I didn't even think of this as something that would be weaponized. But you never know, right? You never know. And I don't know who's behind that. I have no idea. And yeah, so I do need to listen to that one. I need to figure it out. I don't know. I don't like to give them a response. I'm trying not to anyway, but they're going to continue doing it, unfortunately. I have no doubt in my mind. Wait, hold on. I'm kind of like losing my voice here. And I put on makeup for you guys and everything. I painted my whole face on. I, did like bee themed makeup, like eyeshadow and stuff. And I was all about to come on here in my bee costume. And I checked my numbers, and it wasn't over 1,000 anymore. And I was like, you know what? I don't feel like putting the bee costume on. So now I'm just in the killer bee. Well, you're the woolly bully. I think that's an awesome name. I like that name. And now I'm in my pajamas, so I'm not going to be coming on here at all. But yeah, I do have a bee thing. I need to get wings. Oh, that's what I'm missing. Okay. Well, now this gives me time to buy something useless on Amazon that I don't need. And I'll never wear again. And I'm probably not gonna, yeah. Then again, I have a bee costume. So I'm marketing all of that. I'll come, that'll be my thing. I'll come on camera every day wearing a bee costume, ranting and raving about things. I mean, that could be my thing, right? So, yeah, that's what Rose, I don't understand that. That doesn't make sense to me. Hi, NorCal girl. I don't understand how she could get monetized. It makes no sense. Something's up. Something's weird about this. Something doesn't feel right. I'm not gonna lie. So we'll see what happens. But yeah, Christine, when I do, if I do, I mean, I'm not particularly motivated to find out, because I'll know if this information gets dropped, then I'll know who it was, right? So I feel like with that particular one, it's just a waiting game. So if they want to drop that information, I'll know exactly who did it. But we'll see. Yeah, I don't know I think it's too early to think about merch, but I actually do have, well, somebody bought it for me, actually, because a few people had asked for my, not very small handful of people, because nobody owes me anything on here at all, but asked for my Amazon wish list, which I did have some bee things on it. And one of them was some stickers. And it came with like at least 100 of them. So I was like, I don't even know what I'm going to do with all of these bee stickers, but they're wonderful. I've been putting them on everything. But if I do end up sending stuff out, I'm going to include bee stickers with it. There was one, I hope this doesn't offend any religious people on here, because this was a sticker. One of them says, Jesus loves me. And I was like, oh my God. And it's like a bee that's like Jesus. And I was like, who thought of this? It's just literally this big pile of it. It was on Amazon. I put it on my wish list. It was this big like pile of stickers. Some of them were like matte and some of them were like, glossy. But yes, it said Jesus loves me. And it was a bee with like as Jesus. And I was like, wow, okay. And it was like the only religious thing out of the bunch. Like a lot of them were like, it said hold on. Are these some of my favorites? Hold on. Some of them are just like bees. Some of them are like ones I could I'd probably get tattooed, but it's like, be kind and let it be and queen bee. And what does this one say? Kind words are like honey, sweet to these are awesome stickers. I love these stickers. So thank you to the person who got them for me. God save the queen. I guess that has a God reference too. But yeah, Jesus loves me. Where is that one? Oh, that one was like my favorite. I thought that was, I hadn't heard that bee pun, but there's a lot of them. I'm sorry, I'm boring right now. But yes, I appreciated that. because nobody owes me anything. I don't ask for, nobody owes me anything. But it was really nice of that person, because whoever it was got me that, and they got me some of those like quotes that are on like the bricks, like the wood bricks. I don't know what they're called, but they have like quotes on them, and I have one that says "Be nice" or "Buzz off," and then I have another one that says "Be happy." And I like those. So those are up on my desk. And there was also one that was like a sign, which unfortunately got damaged in the mail, but I kind of straightened it out as much. It's the Hive Rules, which says, hold on. It says, Hive Rules: be kind, be honest, be humble, be positive, be respectful, be grateful, be happy, be you. Which I was like, that's perfect for this. That's what I'm going for. So I have that on my desk as well. So thank you to whoever got those for me. I'm not sure. I've literally only given it to maybe 2 or 3 people. So if you are one of those people, I did a community post on it, but thank you very, very, very much. I really appreciate it. You didn't have to do that. But I'm glad you did, because it made my desk very festive. And yeah, I have a desk from IKEA. So like the back of it is a whiteboard. So you can like, I'll send it to you, Rody Gal. I don't want to put it on here yet. People will make fun of me. I put stuff, honestly, guys, most of my wish list is stuff to help me feed my like feral cats and, my dogs and stuff like that. And, stuff for kids and whatnot. But, I do have a couple of things on there that are like bee related for like, marketing purposes. But yeah, I was like, I don't even know what I would want to put on this, but I did appreciate that. It was really nice of them. But yes, I do need to, I need to get a yellow dry erase marker, because it's like the only color I don't have. So I had to write, I was writing BeePlus, but I did the stripes, but I didn't have a yellow marker. The back of it, it's a whiteboard. And I have like, the magnetic letters and stuff, except it was from one of the Metal Hammer magazines from the UK. Actually, I ordered it from the UK because it had a band that I did quite a bit of work for. Even though they did not hire me for this round. But we'll see what happens when they come to the US. But anyways, I ordered it from the UK, and it came with a bunch of like metal things. So it's all like, fuck, die, devil, like really, really ridiculous things. I'm sorry, that makes me sound terrible. But it's like swear words. And I'd like to make sentences out of it. As you would think from a heavy metal song. But I have that as well. But yeah, it's a whiteboard. I think it's awesome. It's really huge though. It's a huge desk. It takes up most of this back bedroom. But I like it. No regrets. Yeah, I have so many cats. But I have a lot of ferals, like in my neighborhood. I mean, I live in the city, and people just abandon their cats all the time. It's really gross. Yeah, NC is feral. I agree. So I have Domino right now, who he lives in the basement. So he goes outside during the day, but he was a feral. Like they even clipped his ear and everything, saying that he's unadoptable. And now he sits in your lap and purrs and licks your face. And, he's very loving. And it took me over a year to get that trust with him. So I worked for it, and I have a lot of cats right now. It's kitten season. So I have a little kitten named, I called him, I don't know if it's a he or she, but it's Bubbles. I call him Bobo. So I have Bobo, which is short for Bubbles. And I have Groucho. I have Moo. I have, what's the other one's name? Oh, God, I forget. There was another one that I was trying to think of a name for. My mom does this too, guys. So I have a heated cat house out in the backyard. Yeah, my mom has my mom's names for her cats are worse. Like I'm telling you. She has Fluffy Face and what was the other one? Oh God, Callie for the calico, and she has. Why can't I think of it? Oh my God, I'm like losing Princess. She has Princess and Punam, which means like face in Yiddish or something. So yes, my mom is I learned from her. So she we don't live that far from each other. So I don't know how these cats have like their territories, but like my cats don't go over there, and her, yes. Well, that's what I'm saying though, Foxy and the Boxy, is that, for a hive to be productive, it needs people. So as I build my community and my hive, yes, we create the honey, I guess. So yes. Yeah. The clipped ear means they've been neutered or spayed. Yeah. Yep. And that's what we do with the community cats here, the TNR cats. And Domino is a TNR cat, yet he's like friendlier than one of mine that I've had since a kitten. So it's interesting. I do have another TNR cat that's around here too. But the other ones, I am trying to capture a few of them. Because they need to be, Denise, it's taken me over a year and it's been so rewarding. Like before, if I put food out for him and he wouldn't even come near me, I had to be inside and not even looking at him for him to eat. And then he kept getting closer and closer, and now he sits in your lap and purrs. I did capture one last year on all white. I named him Olaf. And I captured Olaf. Olaf was very sick. Olaf, I was sobbing because this cat was on death's door. Oh, it was a kitten, actually, on death's door. And I was trying to feed him. And even Domino knew that he was on death's door because Domino would always let him eat first. And I keep in touch with the woman who adopted him because we ended up capturing him. And he found a home really quickly because he's a kitten. So they usually find homes faster. And, we keep in touch now. And yeah. So we have Olaf. Olaf was one of my favorites. I have a thing for cats, and then I have 2 cats of my own. But I mean, I honestly, like, at this point, I've decided though that I'll capture them because I do work like I foster. So I mean, I'll do that. But I have a soft spot for cats. Like with dogs, I can say no because dogs are a lot of work. I have 2 dogs. I don't want any more. I'm not sure if I want dogs again, honestly. I'd never had a dog before. I had a dog growing up, but I didn't have to take care of it. So, I didn't understand how much work they are, but I did foster dogs for a while. I ended up keeping one of the fosters, and, long story short, they're a lot of work and they're a pain in the ass, but I love them very much. I have Molly and Traveler, and then my cats, I have Chicory, Paolo, Domino, are the 3 that come in the house, but, Chicory and Paolo are up here with me. I've had Paolo and Chicory since they were babies, and Paolo he's my old man. He's 10. And I hope that's right, Broken Justice. I hope that you can move on with you and yourself and your channel, and leave Dorothy behind. A lot of people are like, I should just leave Dorothy behind, but Dorothy deserves to be talked about any way that I choose to talk about her, at any time that I choose to talk about her. So that's what we're doing here. But, for you, I mean, she's been incredibly hurtful to you. So I do hope you can find that away from her. You have 4 cats, Christine? I love cats. And I'm allergic to cats too, but like, I don't know. I love cats so very much. And I will actually, when I come out in my bee costume, you can meet all of my animals. I will bring each and every one of them over here. The dogs are going to be difficult because the dogs are going to be very wiggly. But Kitty, I love the mini schnauzers. I'm telling you, I have a soft spot for white floofy dogs, like the little floofy dogs, and mini schnauzers. Because my parents had really good friends. And whenever you go to their house, like this couple didn't have kids, and their house was like a museum. So whenever we'd go over there for dinner, they didn't really know how to interact with kids. They were always like, don't touch anything, and their dog was this really elderly mini schnauzer named Frango. And Frango was awful, like really mean, did not like children. I don't, because she wasn't exposed to children, and she was probably sick, I don't know. But I wanted a dog so badly, and I just wanted to pet Frango, and Frango was not having it and did not like me. So I have always had a soft spot for like elderly mini schnauzers because of that. I don't know why. Because this dog was just so sassy to me and just was not having it. Was like, who is this child? And get it away from me, please. That's okay. That's okay, Rody Gal. I was going to say, I don't know what that is. That's not my list, I don't think. That's something else. But I'm like, oh, you have a Maltese? I have, that's the kind that I have such a, oh, that is my, oh god, Nerdy Guy, you didn't have to do that. People are going to laugh at my wish list. Some of that stuff I think I put up by mistake. I don't know. That's okay. That's okay. That's what it's there for. That's what it's there for. I like Maltese. I like those. I like the Bijans, the Shih Tzus. Shih Tzus are sassy. Shih Tzus have a lot of personality. Let me tell you, I worked at a pet store until quite recently, actually, because it was a job I could do. They were really, really accommodating. to my injury and stuff like that, which is unusual for a retailer to be. Unfortunately, they decided they didn't want to do business in the United States anymore, so they don't. They're in Canada. It's called Pet Value. So they're in Canada, and I loved that job very much. But we used to have a little Shih Tzu that would come in named Babe, who just ran the place. Babe, I love that dog. Okay. Oh, it was yours. No, Brody Gal, you don't want that there. Oh no. I'm not laughing at you, but okay. I was like, I don't know what that is, but all right. Let's see. Yeah, I like my name too, honestly. I didn't know anybody else with my name. Yeah. Oh, Rody Gal. Oh, I feel bad now. I feel bad. But yeah, I've been sitting in this chair for a very long time, and I need to eat because I actually have groceries. Guys, the prices of stuff is going up like crazy. Like, what the heck? Like, I had enough, the grocery, the amount of groceries that got today that should have cost like under $100, and it was almost $200. It is ridiculous. Like, it almost makes me not want to eat ever. Because, oh, you do? Are you in Canada? Because they're not here anymore. I loved that job. So you have to be in Canada then, because they're not in the US anymore. Or if they were, they just got rid of me. But yeah, Pet Value was a great chain. I loved working for them. That was probably the best job that I've ever had. And they were really accommodating of everything about me. I loved it. Oh, okay, yeah. So you are in Canada. It's quite mad. I like the dog wash. Like, I hated cleaning up the dog wash, but it was like right down the street from my house, so I always like to bring the dogs over there. It was really convenient. Yeah, it's nuts. Everything's so expensive. It's like I don't even want to eat as much anymore. I'm like, for the first time in my whole life, I'm like, I don't know if I can afford to eat. I don't know, guys. The world is crazy. The world is crazy, and I only hope that things get better. But, in the grand scheme of things, I have all my needs met, so I can't complain. I'll still complain, but I shouldn't. Yeah, so I don't know, guys. And Rody Gal, thank you so much for being here and modding. I really appreciate it because I wasn't planning on. I don't know what I was planning today. I've been all over the place. I've been having anxiety. I'm not gonna lie to you about it, but I am glad. I am so glad that you guys put out that video, Crafton and Kim. Yeah, guys, if you have not watched their last live, I highly recommend you do if you want to know what's going on, and if there's receipts, so you can't argue with receipts, right? So and do with that, like I said, I just want people to make informed decisions. Like, if you want to support somebody, then go ahead and support them, but I just want people to have the facts. That's all I want. And honestly, what I want from this situation is I want Kim and Crafton to get an apology. First of all, I want them to be apologized to, and them to say that was fucked up and that shouldn't have happened. And then maybe we can move on from this. But obviously, I don't know if I would accept an apology for that, but that's it's not my decision. But that's where, and then move on from it. But what I see, what I foresee happening is this becoming a whole thing where there's going to be, because apparently is there like a response video, Kim, is what I heard. I don't know. Which quite frankly, I don't know if I'm interested in even watching, but that's, I don't want this to have to be a thing. So if anybody that is part of that is listening, like, just leave it. Like, can we move on as a community and, kind of go down a road that isn't so awful? Cause what do you mean? Which video? The one I'm talking about with the receipts, that's, Crafton and Kim. And they are, if you're, I always forget that some people might not be from this community, but it's about going real life and digging into people's lives to get information to put onto YouTube. And yeah, it's Crafton and Kim, and they put out a video today. I forget what you guys titled it. I'm sorry. Actually, Rodigal, if you want to drop the link to it, I would be fine with that as well. And because they have receipts, right? So it's not just hearsay; it's straight up receipts. So, which is messed up, and that's what I'm saying. I always kind of am skeptical of people that say that they want peace. You know, because it's a drama community. So if you want, like, peace isn't going to happen, but what should happen is the real life needs to stop. We don't need to do real life to do drama that's entertaining and makes people, you know, that people enjoy. I can be petty and bitchy all day long, guys. And, you know, I think that's just as entertaining. And yeah. And we did like Watts Island drama people like too. Like, why can't we go back to that style? That's what I'm saying though, Foxy and the Boxy. And that's what I'm worried about. I am very worried about that. I'm very worried about that. You know, because I don't know. Rody Gal, are you still in here? Okay, there's the video. Rody Gal dropped the link for it. Yep. So if you wanted to check that out, they have a great channel in general. So they have a really interesting kind of a shtick where, you know, you do the flight simulation, which I've never seen anybody else do. So I think that's super unique. Plus the music, which is stuck in my head all day long. I am not even joking. Like, I'm here. I'm like, hi, best friend. I'm like, no, get out of my head. Whoever is responsible for that, you know, good job. Well done. And I like that it's an ever evolving soundboard, you know, contributions to it. I think that's awesome. You know, if I ever make it into that one day, I would be highly honored. I would be like, yes, I've made it in the world. It's okay. I don't need to be in it, but it's been great. I love seeing the evolution of it. I've been watching you guys for like a year. So yes. Yeah, it is. They do. They have the morning slot, which, you know, there isn't. Usually I wake up to it because I wake up early and then I usually go back to sleep for a few hours. So yeah, I'm dancing. I like the Lana edition. I like that one a lot, the Cooperate. Yeah, but I like the Lana edition. I think that's a good one. I feel like there's got to be a Dorothyism in there at some point. Like, I don't know. There's just, yeah. I die laughing. Yeah, the bus, right. I don't know what the next one is. Like farming simulator, maybe. Like, you know, I don't know. I always make, like, there was one, I was at GameStop once and it was like farming simulator 2019 game of the year, like edition. I was like, oh my sweet Jesus, what is this? Like, you know, not knocking people that like to do that. But the way it's marketed was amusing to me. That's all. Not the game itself, just the way it was marketed as like something super exciting and like, you know, geared to kids. I don't know. Maybe. And there was one about horses too. It was like horse simulator. That one was weird. But you know, we don't knock people's interests over here. No. Nope. You know, just like Dorothy has like a clapping fetish. You know, we don't kink shame over here. You know, if you like people clapping at you, then, you know, good for you, girl. You do you. The farming simulator, really? Okay. I can't knock it if I haven't played it, but the way it was marketed was amusing to me. And I can't quite put my finger as to why. Because, you know, usually games are like a, I don't know. It doesn't strike me as a game. Like for me, I would probably like it because it would probably be like, probably Irvin, but you know, we don't want to say that that's hearsay. We don't want to say that, but yeah, I like the morning show too. Which I think is unique. I appreciate creators that do something unique. You know, which is why I like Crafton and Kim. I like Country Joe that does something just like the artistic, because I'm creative. So when I see when I see other people that do stuff that's creative, I automatically can relate to that. And I like that a lot. But this community isn't like to a point where you want to abandon it and let it burn to the ground. I mean, a lot of people feel that way, I think, and I don't blame people, but there are good people here. There really are. And I think that people would be surprised by, you know, that I don't think people would be surprised about the amount of kindness that there is here. Unfortunately, people just usually remember the bad stuff. And lately that's been a thing. But like I said, if I have anything out of this whole situation, it's just that people get an apology and that, you know, we move on and this doesn't have to get into something that's a train would be awesome. Actually, yes, Crafton, I would love a train simulator. That'd be cool. And yeah, I like that idea. I don't know if I'm sure it's a thing, or like a submarine, but no, I think a train would work. But no, I don't want to see this getting turned into something even worse, right? Like, let's just say, yes, I fucked up. I did that. I was a part of it and let's move on. But unfortunately, I don't foresee that being the way this is handled, and that's, I'm disappointed. I'm disappointed. But we'll see, right? It looks like I saw that Lala was in your chat, so, and she seemed very apologetic. So I mean, that if what I saw was as it seems, which sometimes things are not as they seem, maybe I don't know the whole story, but it seems like that would be my ideal response to things like this, is you say, yes, I had a part in this. It was fucked up. I shouldn't have done it. I understand that you're probably very upset with me, and, all I can do is show you my behavior going forward. Like, right. Like that's what I want from things. But unfortunately with, oh God, we'll see what happens. But I just think it's fucked up, right? Like, regardless of what people, who you like and who you don't like, there are just some lines that shouldn't be crossed. And for what? Right? Like, for what? What was the point? To hurt somebody? To try and embarrass somebody or expose somebody, quote unquote. If you look at the big picture, I always look at the big picture, and that's what I've always tried to say. Really? Yeah, guys, what is up with that? I mean, maybe it's because KK actually respects a ban. I'm not really sure what she was banned for. I'm not going to be on here much longer, but perhaps at some point soon, maybe tomorrow, somebody could explain to me exactly what she did that got her booted off of here. Because I'm not so sure. I never really listened to her. I always felt like she was yelling, but I didn't have like an issue. I don't know. I didn't really know. I heard her on a few channels. I don't know why she got kicked off, but yeah, she seems to, whenever, if she pops up, she get like, why is Natasha here? Like, why is Natasha here? Maybe is there a certain amount of time that's a ban? I don't know what's going on, because I know Critical K is here too. So I know that she had been booted at one point or another. I don't really know how this stuff works. Oh no, Kim, and I respect that. To be able to put that forward and have that target on your back, because you did the right thing. I respect that. I have the utmost respect for somebody who's willing to do that. Honest to God. So my hat goes off to her for that. Because yeah, that can't be easy, especially when it's certain people, right? Like, you don't really want to cross certain people. But good for her. Yeah, I respect that. So that's what I want from the situation. But unfortunately, we'll see where it goes, right? I mean, will I check anything else? I don't know. All I know is that, you can't argue with screenshots. If you don't want to believe the screenshots, I'm telling you right now, it's legit. If you don't believe, I like to think I have some credibility here. Like, I'm telling you right now, like, that, that's not bullshit. That unfortunately that did happen to Crafton and Kim. So, really, of course she did. Crafton. That is my fear from this whole situation. Oh well, I can just pray that people decide to be a good person. That's all. I know it's too much to ask for in some of these things, but I would have respect for people if they were to just take accountability and move on, and go on to doing something different and harassing somebody else, right, in a way that's appropriate. Because harassment doesn't have to be a bad thing. No, I'm just kidding. It's a bad thing, but yeah, I'll go check that out when I get off of here. But what I did want to say before I leave is just thank you guys so very much for all of your support. Oh, yeah. I wanted to go more into that, I wonder what, but I didn't because, well, for a few reasons. I got distracted. And I will not be distracted again, and I will make sure of that. Because I had a whole list of things I wanted to address, because it's just been so much, but yeah, I mean, no one likes being caught, but at the same time, like, just take accountability. I've learned that in my life. If you just try to make up more lies to cover up, stuff, it never works out. Sorry. Sorry, that was a yawn. I am tired. But yeah, I have to take all this makeup off too. And that's going to be a whole thing. I hate painting my face on. I don't do it often. Yeah, you can't change who people are. Yeah, I know. And yeah, right. I mean, what else did, but at the same time though, I'm glad that you guys were able to do that because there's been a lot of, it's something people need to know. Like, it's not okay. It's not okay. And I hate that that happened to you guys. I'm really sorry that that happened. Because that should have been your story to tell, not anybody else's. And you don't need to explain. Like, how I said that, what happened the other night was, with Jess coming on to reach out to her community for support. I saw that as what you were doing, Kim. When I saw what you wrote, that's immediately what I thought. I said, this is her community. She doesn't really know how to put this yet. Like when I found out everything else, I'm telling you, because like I took it at face value at first, but and I'm, you didn't put in every detail because you shouldn't have to. I mean, that's a hard thing to explain, right? Like, you had no obligation to come on and say like, all of those details. So you just wrote the basic stuff, right? And people took that as whatever they did. But all I saw that as is you trying to, because Dorothy will be like, well, they just shouldn't have said anything at all. Well, no, I saw that as you trying to reach out to the community and connect with people because you were having a really hard time dealing with that. Because that's a really scary thing to deal with. I'm sure for both you and Crafton. That's how I saw that. And then when people were like, oh, they felt that you were lying. I never felt that you were lying to the community. That's not how I saw that at all. And anybody else that can, is able to see the big picture, I don't feel would have seen that either. But like, you had no obligation. Like, what were you going to write? Did they expect you to write all of those details in that post? No, you put it the way that, people that you're comfortable writing at that point in time. That doesn't mean anything. Like, it just means that you were trying to connect with people because, nobody knows how to handle situations like that. And sometimes things can be worse than they were, right? And I knew that's what you wanted. I didn't see you using that as a way to exploit for money. You weren't sitting up on a panel sad fishing. No, you were just trying to connect with people and let people know, hey, this is what's going on. And hey, I could really use some support right now because, I just had this really awful thing happen and, Crafton's really not well and really could use some prayers right now. That's how I saw it, because nobody's entitled to any of that information. In fact, I wouldn't have cared if you never came on with that information. Like, that's not my business. And I said that from the get-go. Actually, I think I said that the day it happened. I think I had somebody come into chat trying to get me to talk about it. And I'm fairly certain that's exactly what I said. Because I was like, okay, well, I'm not gonna, it's not my business. No. And I don't think it's anybody's. Hold on. The lie according Kim was that's right. I forgot about that. Yes. Oh my God. That's so true. Here I am putting these puzzle pieces together later, and I had part of me had completely forgotten that I had even heard that before. But yes. Right. Well, no, Crafton, that's what I'm saying. All of this was to expose Kim. You were just collateral damage in this, is my understanding of what went down here from what I've seen and where I'm standing. For what I don't know, I'm not entirely sure what Kim did that was so awful that would warrant that, but yeah. I mean, the pieces are falling into place now. I'm disappointed. I really am. I know that a lot of people have said similar things about certain people, but I guess it takes seeing something so straightforward to really understand it. But yeah, I'm kind of at a loss for words right now. I had no idea that it was as bad as that. And now that I see the big picture, yes, you guys had every right to be angry and every right to be upset and every right to say any of the things that you have said since then, because that was invasive and violating and it wasn't okay. And I'm going to stand by that. And that's the thing. Like, people think I care if, things that there are a lot of people on here that are people pleasers, that they don't want to say certain things because they think they'll lose subscribers or viewers or whatever. And yeah, I used to worry about that at one point. But, when it comes down to it, right is right and wrong is wrong. And, if I stand for something or if I believe in something, I'm going to come on and say it. Now, can my opinions change given new information? Sure, of course they can. But as I see things, I'm not going to beat around the bush. I'm sorry. Like, if that's a problem for you, then, maybe I don't know what to tell you. I can't make everybody happy. I can just stand for what I see. So really? Yeah, I'm not really familiar with Unmasked, honestly. I watched that Nicole Kessinger series, and that was basically my the end of my I didn't really stick around after that. I don't actually think I'm subscribed. But I didn't realize that that was a thing. You could right. Yeah, they would. They call you a liar. Right. And people don't want to see receipts. Yeah. Then they'll say that it's doctored, and they'll say that it's made up, and they'll say that, that this is, photoshopped or whatever. But I'm telling you guys right now, that was not photoshopped. That was legit. That happened. Don't ask me how I know. I will be letting everybody know that later. It's real, guys. Like, that wasn't photoshopped. But that's what they'll go for. They'll try to discredit you, or they'll, I'm sure there's a whole list of maneuvers of things they could do to I don't know, save their own skin, I guess. But wait, what happened? Oh, okay, I see. I can't with that name. I'm sorry, I can't even say that without laughing. Yeah, Rodigal, I'm getting off of here too. I gotta go eat dinner. I haven't eaten yet today because I always say I'm not gonna be on here for that long, and then I'm on here forever. Because I could talk for hours and hours. I could probably out live Dorothy if I wanted to. If I had enough caffeine and enough to actually, you know what? I wouldn't even need a topic. If I put like a sticker over the people watching count, and I just put a sticker over it so I didn't see it, because sometimes that's pressure. Right? Sometimes I got that pressure to talk. If I just put, I could go all day. I don't care. I could talk all day. I do a dramatic reading. I have something I want to do a dramatic reading of very soon that I think you guys will find amusing. Do you guys want to do a dramatic reading of the crazy emails that I get? Of some of the really, really, like the one I have framed? Yes, that is a good one. Where did I see that recently? Did I screenshot that? No. I don't know. I need to go through my phone. I have a lot of screenshots. And I never delete anything. It's ADHD life. Like, I swear to you, nothing gets deleted. So if anybody's ever looking for something that was somewhere, I probably still have it. And I also do screen recordings of things that I think matter, and then I listen to it afterwards, and I'm like, why would I record this? Like, what was the relevance of this? But I will say though, guys, if you have any if Rose, I'm only laughing because I never know how to spell snuffleupagus either. And I'm like, I need to Google it because it doesn't come up on the autocorrect. Oh no. Guys, have you ever seen I know a lot of people here of the age group, the snuffleupagus from the 70s? It was absolutely terrifying, comparatively to the one from my childhood. I saw pictures of snuffleupagus from the 70s, and I was like, oh my sweet Jesus, how this is terrifying. This is what nightmares are made of. So I don't know how many of you grew up around that time, but yeah, snuffleupagus back then. I'll gladly keep the snuffleupagus I know and love. Thank you. Yes, about the red car man. Oh yeah, yes, our other friend here. Yeah, there you go. I think that's the correct spelling of snuffleupagus. I'm sorry. Okay, another creator is putting out. Oh yes. Well, I'm getting off of here anyways. Who's putting? Oh, I know who's putting out unseen receipts. Okay, I'll probably pop over there as well because this is somebody. Yeah, I know who that is. Okay. All right, guys. I hope everybody has a great night, and I will probably be on tomorrow night or morning. I'm not sure, but thank you all so very much. Stay safe on those YouTube streets and don't do anything I wouldn't do.